Touchdown, Tennessee.
Toot, toot. It's time to ride the funk train with the Trumpicorn.
Trump train.
The Trump, not the Trump train, the Trumpicorn train gives 2 barks for the Tennessee touchdown because not even anybody in Indiana gives a shit about Purdue. So just ask God in the sky that we should win this game. How you guys doing?
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So new time for a little while. We're going to start at 7. And we have a big guest coming up on the 13th of January, which is that I don't know her name. It's like Madeline something, right? What's her name? The granddaughter or the daughter of she was in the movie. She's the last surviving member of the cast and crew, or maybe not the crew, but the cast of Manos Hands of Fate.
Which you've been trying to get this girl on.
Jones.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Jackie Reed Newman-Jones.
Jackie Ray Newman-Jones.
Yes, she's going to be here on the 13th, and we got make sure you contact her and tell her we're going to do a time change. We're on the East Coast because I know she's in the Midwest, so she's in Texas. This is where they filmed Manos. If she's still out there, but if you don't know, Manos Hands of Fate is the worst movie of all time. And it's
The Room isn't like
no, The Room. I love The Room. Well, no, I love Manos Hands of Fate as well.
Technically Manos is terrible.
Yes,
but that's what makes it great. The pacing of The Room is better, even though it's weirder and crazy.
Hello, puppy. I love The Room.
You're ripping my heart out.
Oh, hello, puppy. I just like how everything is, oh, hello. He just says that like he's surprised that everybody's saying hello to him the entire movie. Oh, hello. Oh, hello, puppy. The puppy.
The movie that Franco made about that movie, the disaster artist, but that was fantastic too.
Good.
But Manos Hands of Fate it would be an unwatchable movie on its own. But if you watch the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version,
yes,
it is probably the funniest thing you'll ever see in your life.
Yes.
And if you don't know, Manos is Spanish for hands. So technically the name of the movie is
Hands of Fate.
Hands of Fate. So that is
which is the remix. Hands of Fate. Hands of Fate.
R. Kelly got a hold of it. We got a lot of people in the chat room. Hello, everybody. You guys missed, everybody it's in the chat room missed the premiere the other night of WJHCAM. And I got to say, even though that was a very pro Big and Funky crowd, a lot of Big and Funky fans, people that were in the movie, friends of ours, and a couple people who were just Big and Funky for life type people. They all came back and said this movie was incredible, which you'd expect that. But what Luke and I basically was listening for is who laughed at what, because we wanted to cut some of the movie down, and unfortunately, everybody laughed at everything.
Yes.
So now we're at the point to where, oh my God, this is going to be even more of a painful surgery than we anticipated, because there were things that people laughed audibly out loud at that we didn't even expect to get a reaction. And things like me peering into the control room when I, kind of give one of these.
Purdue just scored a 67-yard touchdown.
How much time is left? I told you to turn that off.
3 minutes.
Well, we'll score again.
That'll be 20 minutes.
So, Pumpkin,
sports,
you went in the ER. That was no excuse. The hospital had been open after the movie.
No, I'm accepting all excuses for that, because it was a premiere on a Tuesday night at midnight. I mean, what?
I wonder how many people showed up at Wednesday because of the stupid ass promoting that I came up with to promote a movie at midnight, because it confused a lot of people. I hope everybody realized I missed it and nobody drove out the pitch.
But there will be another chance to see it in theaters because it will be at Hall Cinema on January 22nd for Hack's Horror Extravaganza Fest thing that he's doing. Right. And I'm sure most of us will be there for that too. And that's also actually, I think that's a bigger theater, so we could fit a few more people in it, because we did really well at this premiere for a Tuesday at midnight. There was
during Hell Week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
during Hell Week.
Yeah, it was good times.
I actually think having it at midnight helped a little bit during Hell Week because people got off at 11 o'clock and were able to make it to the premiere.
It was a mixed bag. I mean, it really was it was a party for us, and it was just to gauge the laughs and to see, okay, is this funny? Is this as funny as we thought? And it seemed to be pretty good. And we don't want to sit there and toot horns and pat ourselves in the back because I think that would be nauseating for people to watch. But we want people to be excited because our movies feature local stories, local legends, local beliefs, local actors, local musicians. And hey, you know what we haven't?
And local locations.
Yes. And you know what we haven't talked about? The fucking music of this movie was tremendous. And I'll start off by saying Luke did there's a song that is kind of central to one of the story arcs in the whole movie. And Luke wrote the song and performed it. Go Up Yonder on Yon Hill over there, which is a very good rendition of that, and very stupid and fun at the same time. But also Amber performed a serious track and a non-serious track that made it. And then Jesse Lunsford, our friend, who's the associate and comedy partner of Martin Short and Steve Martin, made it into the movie. But also Josh Jordan with the awesome opening Suicide music, and also the fight scene with Sheena. He provided music for that. Spaceman Jones and the Motherships provided a fight when a couple people were getting murdered by zombies. The end credits.
Wait a second. Tennessee just had a 90-yard pass. So now they're at the 5-yard line.
That's awesome. Somebody needs to play defense.
Yes,
so
very nice.
Then a group called Ham Radio performed the music for the last little bit. Another group, Corey King, provided music for the Simon Says bit. So there was a lot of talent. Oh, and our own Candy Thompson did the opening title sequence. I'm probably leaving something out, but there was a lot of people. I did the Kiss song or the Hug song. So there was a lot of musicians that were unbelievable.
Sued. Stop it.
Yeah,
it wasn't Kiss. It was Hugs. Totally.
It has nothing to do with Kiss. It's not even,
What was great about that was the smattering. You could tell when people were realizing that Hugs was not really being talked about, that we were talking about the band Kiss. And you kind of hear, it was like smattering all over, going all the way around, where people were like, oh, what they're saying is Kiss. But they really can't say Kiss. They're saying Hugs.
We'll get sued.
We'll get
touchdown,
our ass.
touchdown, Tennessee.
All right. How much time's left?
A minute and a half.
That's too much time, apparently, in this game. Terry Walker, your brother's in the chat room.
All right.
Chris Covington, who helped me during my campaign. Chris, I don't know if you realize, but I finished second in the gubernatorial race out of these 4 people. By the way, we didn't do good enough. We couldn't beat Tracy in 2017.
And I didn't campaign.
Yeah, she voted for me, is what she said.
I did.
She went out that morning and was like putting out my signs or posing with my signs at least. So she's a great friend. I had lunch with Kirby and her daughter yesterday at the Shell gas station Mexican place on Wares Valley. They loved it. But that was a nice little visit with her. It was good to see her. I kind of feel like she has to drive 9 hours to hang out for 10 minutes with us. So it was good to see.
I feel
Kirby.
bad. I still think it's weird that every time I see Kirby, she's younger and more attractive. It's like she's Benjamin Buttoning the world. She's just going backwards in life and just.
Oh, Chris, I'm just busting your bobalones. You did a great job. I appreciate you trying to help me push Liberty to new heights in Tennessee, which is a challenge apparently. But let's see, what did Terry say?
Have you seen the new Matrix?
No,
Mhm.
Luke has.
Yeah, the people don't want to be free.
Did you like it?
Direct from the movie. Yeah, it's really good actually. I really enjoyed it.
Did you like 2 and 3?
I liked 1. I like the whole concept, the overarching concept of the Matrix. and the
I think, Vinny, what you would like about the new Matrix movie, I'm sorry to be weird here. What you would like about the new Matrix movie is it's very meta. It makes fun of itself. It makes fun of,
Really?
Yeah.
It does.
Mm-hmm. That was very entertaining. I actually really
Really?
enjoyed that part of it.
Oh God!
Did you watch the after scene?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Luke and I came up with an after scene for WJHC.
And it is. It is worth us spending 2 days driving to Alabama, Arkansas, wherever we got to go.
Do you want to tell them?
I want to film it, and then I want to release it as a short on the channel.
No, it's going to be just the end scene is going to be.
Well, I'll preface it. Now, we all love Sister Christian.
Yes.
I have been on the phone today with two insiders.
The character, not the movie, or not the song. I love the song too.
Well, the song's all right. But yeah, the character Sister Christian in the movie WJHC. Two insiders today have talked to me. And when I said, what are you going to do? When they were asking, what are you going to do to cut the movie? I said, well, there's something wrong with the Sister Christian scene. And both the insiders said, do not cut that scene.
No.
And so Luke has a great idea that's actually going to add time, but it's going to actually make that scene funnier and keep her uncut. Because Amy Hale, she's a disc jockey out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, is hilarious.
Well, and said what people don't know about that scene, and anybody that's watching will now know, that was improv.
Completely.
Yep.
Yeah, that whole scene. Yeah.
The script literally said Amy and Vinny shoot the shit, pretty much. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I can pull it up
so Amy is an improv actress. She actually was trained by what's those people? Oh, Second City.
Yeah.
The improv, and that's a huge Second City Television. It's where everybody you've ever known from the 80s went, and she was trained by those guys. So she was very funny. And her first take, and this may be a deleted scene, her first take, she's not flirtatious. She's very protective of her job and offended she wasn't consulted. So she did this whole 3-minute thing where she was talking about, trying to get me to quit, basically. And Luke said, that's funny. Now do one where you're flirting with him. And that one was equally funny, but I think the thing that sold it was the turning of the Jesus statue away from the situation made that scene exponentially funnier, which you do see people who are cheating on their wives or having sex and certain things when they turn the family photo around or something weird is happening in the house, like they can see out of that picture. It's kind of weird how we are as people, but that was a good scene. But the thing that we were going to do, Luke, I don't know if you want to tell the story, but it's a great idea. And I can't remember if I had it or you had it, but it was a great idea.
I had it. It's a great idea. I had it. No, what we want to do is have come back. She's in hell talking to Satan, and she just keeps talking and talking so much that Satan kicks her out. And then when she kicks her out of hell because she keeps talking so much, and then
the ejector seat.
And then I added this just after I hung with Vinny. I didn't tell him. I think Satan should go, boy, she does smell good, though.
That's perfect. She'll be down for that. Because what's the problem with the movie is we couldn't afford to keep Amy around she was from Arkansas, so she had a one shot, and we couldn't put her in anything else in the movie, so she kind of disappears, even though she's going to do some voiceover stuff throughout. But I think coming back to Sister Christian in the comedy biz is what you call a callback, and that'll be a great thing.
Well, and what we were fighting and arguing and hating to do is we had to cut things out of the movie. Well, now we've found out that we don't. We don't have to cut anything down. The time is good. The time is good.
Yeah. The thing now is that I talked to somebody today who's in the business, and he said something. If it's not adding, it's taking away. So we'll have to go with a magnifying glass and go, does this add to the movie? Because if it doesn't, But what's tough, it's a comedy. And when you have laughs, that's valuable. And you just don't want to exhaust people before it gets to where it's going. But that's the struggle. And you don't want to hurt feelings and you don't want to make people sad. But moreover, you want the movie to be a better project because a lot of people put a lot of time into it. A lot of people volunteered. A lot of people drove. A lot of people have given money. So you want it to be the best thing it can be. The executive producer, who none of you know, the guy who put the money up for this movie, along with the other donors, says he's proud to be a part of this movie. He thought their hike was good. He thinks this is much better. And he's proud of this movie. And he said, I can't wait to see what the other movie is. He's funding Camp Smokey for us. So he said, I can't wait to see what happens with Camp Smokey. So he's happy. I talked to Chip out of New Hampshire, who's the guy that's distributing. He says the hike is doing good on Amazon Prime, and he'll get us the exact numbers. Wrestling with Ghosts has started on Saltbox and Intrigue TV, and he'll tell us what that's about, what's going on with that. And then he's very excited about WJHCAM, and he wants to meet Luke and myself this year to kind of talk about the future of our partnership with Chip. What is it called? Chip
Taylor Communications.
Chip Taylor. Yeah. Distributors.
Communications.
Yeah. Something like
They're
that.
listed as the director on the hike.
Yes.
Remember?
Well,
yeah.
On Amazon, at least.
Yeah.
That's kind of janky. And we'll talk to you. I think one of the things that's a problem with the hike is it's listed as a horror first. It's really a marriage of comedy and horror. And people got to realize it's supposed to be funny too. And it's not supposed to scare you.
I honestly think that if people see this movie and never heard of The Hike, but then they say, oh, there's another movie, The Hike, then they watch it, they will enjoy The Hike a lot more after watching this movie because they'll understand who we are as storytellers and comedians and what we're going for. Well, and this
go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. I get excited.
This movie doesn't hide, we don't think, oh, it's comedy horror. This is a comedy that every once in a while there's some horror aspects to it, but it's a comedy.
Yeah, I don't think we just make stories. The horror and the comedy. I mean, who cares? It's just a story, and people need genres to know what to expect, I guess. But we just tell crazy stories, man. And it's like I talked to a guy today, and we're talking about, and sorry if this is too much inside information or whatever, we're talking about getting rid of Billy's scene. Simon Says. And he says, don't get rid of that. And I was like, we're trying to, tighten it up. And he's, God, I have a hard time with that one, man. It made me laugh out loud. And I said, well, Luke and I have some ideas to make it better. But he's like, when a child produces a knife on another child in a movie, that's just his image. You can't get rid of that image. And you're just like, yeah, that's a pretty good. I like the fact that this flirts with being very sacrilegious, but it's not. It flirts with being a Kirk Cameron-like Christian movie, but there's enough masturbating and bestiality and child-on-child violence where it can't be, and boobs, that people are like,
completely unnecessary boobs. I love it.
But that's what's great about it. Boobs and buns.
That's the best kind.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So Luke and I don't know if you guys have, but people have been talking about what their favorite parts of the movie are. But Tracy, what's your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of filming also.
What?
You flip, you're running away and you slip and then you're up and you're like, door! Oh my God! Oh, I'm going to run around into the building.
Yeah, that was
because I remember all of us were like, oh, and then you're up, and then we're like, oh.
I'm a pretty tough guy. I never think about that, but that fall was pretty fucking rough, and I didn't even feel it. We all went, oh. And
it thumped and echoed through that canyon there. It was
that was bone on cement.
And we were all like, "Oh my God, he's all right." And Travis is like, "Ah, you fell down."
Yeah.
That crazy Vinny fell down again.
What was your favorite part,
It's-
Amber?
It's gonna have to be a running joke that Vinny falls down in every movie.
That
It's
would
not
be
a running joke. It's just going to happen.
It's a
I know.
running. It's a
Happens.
it's a running fact. Every time I run, I fall down. What's your favorite part, Amber?
Literally every scene with Jack Lowe Jr.
Good answer.
I literally almost crap myself every single time.
Gross.
He's just standing there. And I'm like, I just bust out laughing. He did so
just
well
the
in that
face.
character. Like it was just so funny. Like even if it wasn't meant to be funny, it was just hilarious. So all of him.
He killed it. He's been critiqued. People have come to me and said he doesn't add anything to what you guys do. And I'm like, I don't agree with that.
Not at all.
I think he breaks out definitely and lets people see what we see in him. I mean, the hike, I'll admit anybody really could have played Travis's character in the hike. And he did a good job. I'm not putting him down. But this is something that I don't think a lot of people would have been able to pull off.
The thing about Travis, why they probably think he doesn't, because what they don't understand is he's our straight man.
Right.
But not only is he our straight man, he plays everything perfect. He makes no mistakes, but and usually previously he hasn't taken anything above and beyond because we don't give him anything above and beyond because he's supposed to be the control subject. But in this,
yeah, it's good. It's a good part, man. Good part.
This time we gave the flat line to Tracy, and God, you killed it, Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy. I was sitting behind Tracy when we were watching. It was fun to hear her laugh at herself. And I'm glad. I know she's had a rough year. We've all had rough years except Luke. Luke's had one of his best years, you bastard. But it was good to hear Tracy enjoy herself, seeing herself on screen and laughing at herself. Some of my favorite parts were seeing Tracy's face. Just when she's like, picks up the phone, get in here. It's just like she does such a good job of that. What was your favorite part, Luke?
This is going to sound really stupid, okay? And because there's so many great laughs and there's so many great moments, but for some reason, the thing that every time it happened, and both times I saw this movie, that repeatedly happened a few times that made me laugh was Vinny doing this. Every time something stupid was happening, and Vinny would just pop up over the computer like, oh. It's like Vinny knows my favorite thing that he does is when he goes, what? Like, I don't know why. Every time I hear Vinny go, what? It makes me laugh. Well, now this whole shooting in there thing, I'm on the floor every time. But now to put my favorite moment that really unexpected was actually Michael Stanley at the top of the stairs.
Yes.
That was the complete non-comedy moment, but it was just like, oh shit!
Yeah.
He was phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
he knocked it out of the water. I was blown away.
Yeah, he did great. When we started working with Mike, he was really wooden. And we're talking about doing skits and wrestling vignettes back in the day. And hello, Steve, and hello, Jill, and hello, Roy, and Michael, everybody in the chat room.
We'll answer your question, Roy, here in a couple minutes.
Mike was amazing in this. And what he says at the top of the steps elicited an audible response from a predominantly white audience. And that's a T-shirt, man. I mean, that whole scene with the
Vinny touched on it. Vinny touched on what we're talking earlier, and it's 100% true. But that is something that every couple has had. That would you calm down? Just calm down. I am calm. Every couple has had that argument in their lives.
Yeah. Well, that's happened in my house. I know for sure. So, yeah, my favorite part is the puking trope, just because I lived through it, and the puke actually was. I would have rather had Sheena puke on me, literally, than that.
Well, I am really glad that you didn't say, "Okay, let me redo this with a serious take," because your reaction of, oh, Jesus,
yeah,
Oh, and with a little bit of a laugh to it, you could tell that you're just trying to hide, not going, get this shit off me. It is so genuine that it held with the crowd.
I cannot act, so that was real. That was all reality, and I don't want to give anything away. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie and you want to keep everything fresh, but so jump off here and come back in about 3 minutes. But the thing that and I'm just talking to you three at this moment, but what I liked, Sheena's a girlfriend, and Sheena's a girl, or the Amelia character. So something's happened to her. We don't we don't explain what really is happening, but she's changed, and something evil has taken over her body. But there's still a little bit of girl inside, because when I say the line, I think we should see other people. Instead of her killing me, which she could do, she just went "Rah!" and decided to puke on me. And she could have killed me several times, but instead she'd rather crush my balls or smack me around. So there was some sort of girl still left in that thing, and still was offended that when I said I think we should see other people. And she could have killed me again, and instead of killing me again, she decides to puke on me again, which I think is hilarious. It's like there's still something inside of that creature. If that there's still a little bit of shit who's enjoying torturing me.
What I wanted to get out of the end of that movie was Evil Dead 2.
Hold on a second. What were you going to say about that, Amber?
The puking and then the slamming of the door behind it, like she's having a temper tantrum.
Right.
Because there's an audible door slam after every single one. And it's like she's pissed off at you, pukes on you, and then slams the door.
That's true,
it's like
too.
the best thing ever.
I haven't thought about that.
Damn it. No, what I wanted to kind of go for at the end of the movie with the last half hour where it's just, the whole world's falling apart, was I wanted it to be a little Evil Dead 2 where how many more things could happen to Bruce Campbell at the end and through the course of Evil Dead 2. It's just like as soon as something resolves itself, something else annihilates him. And that's kind of what we went for. And Vinny got that. And I think it was captured. I think we captured what I was going for. And what Vinny kind of wrote, I think we captured it perfectly. Because by the end, you're just like relieved. You're like, oh, fuck.
Is Evil Dead 2 Army of Darkness, or is that the third one?
No, it's third.
Army of Darkness is third.
Okay. I watched both of those recently, and I can't tell you how awesome Bruce Campbell is. And he's just, as an actor and doing these kind of low budget movies, just, all right, now you're possessed with your own hand. And he's got to sit there and be like, and just how crazy you have to be to do that part.
Hey, we did a wrestling match based on
right. your hand getting possessed, which is great. One of the highlights of my wrestling career
was when we wrestled ghosts. It was me and Vinny versus ghosts. And
the crowd loved it.
Yeah, if there's a video somewhere, and all you hear is ah!
It was good. We did a good match. We could wrestle nobody and get over. What was Tracy? What was Roy's question? I don't.
Roy wants to know. He said, "Hey y'all, we didn't get to see it. Will it be out elsewhere? We want to see it." Oh
yeah, it'll be on. So I had a phone call today with Chip, and Amazon is probably a given, even though it being black and white may be a little risky. But if it is, we'll just release the damn colored version. So, I don't think
don't be racist.
Hey, what are you doing there? You can't say colored in 2021. But I don't think it's going to be a problem because it looks so good black and white, and it's a gimmick. It goes back to Clerks, the 90s, the whole thing. It's trying to elicit a vibe. But Amazon's a given. But we told Chip, I said, I don't want to tell tales out of school. And again, it's shiny and new. And when the hike was out, we were like, oh my God, the hike's amazing. And time you sit there, okay, there's a couple problems with it. It's still very good and we love it. But anyway, I said, I think this is something that's special. And I told a couple people today, I feel like we dropped a pot and the soil fell out of where it plopped down and it formed the Mona Lisa. I feel like it did better than my capabilities of telling a story and creating story arcs and getting from point A to point B to point C. because it was haphazard. It was chaos to shoot this movie. There were so many
I think the word you're
people.
looking for, it's better than it's way better than it should be.
Yes, and it might be divine intervention since it's a movie about these types of things. So, the good Lord in the sky might have been like, I like the message of this movie, and just shored things up better than it should have been.
We're just gonna make you spell WJHCAM wrong in like all the promo materials, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm still a fallible man, but so anyway, Chip's like, we're gonna see if we can't get other things bigger than Amazon Prime to take a look at it then, because he's a big fan of what we do, and he's like, this is building blocks. He goes, this should be better than The Hike, and he goes, The Hike was great, but he goes, you guys should keep getting better and better each movie you make. And
Amazon Prime is a great platform. It is a great streaming service and everything, but it doesn't pay for shit unless you're a major movie that they bought or things like that. So we definitely would much prefer to get a higher release. And what I think is, I think this thing could hit bigger film festivals, major film festivals.
I do too. I don't know how major, but The Hike has won a lot of awards, but these are the biggest. I think the most prestigious film festival that we were in was the Smoky Mountain Film Festival. That was the biggest one because it's only held yearly, and we won. Candy won Best Actress, and that was probably the biggest win. But a lot of these things are smaller and small countries and stuff, and we have won Best Comedy and Best Director and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on any of that, but I do think this thing could survive and do well at bigger festivals, and we'll see. And that's the thing. And then the next movie, Camp Smokey, we need it to be better than this movie, and we need.
But we need that. We need those to try to even just get selected to these bigger festivals and things like that, because that will mean more eyes on it and more money for future projects.
Right. I agree. And I think we'll definitely, once we polish her up, we'll get her out there. Let's see. What's Steve Bergeron saying?
He wants to know if there are any more Hike movies coming soon.
Yes. Well, there's 6 movies, and they're all different, but they're all basically connected, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in each movie. For example, the Vinny character picks up brass knuckles in this movie and he's trying to just get a weapon to go save Arlo, and he picks up a weapon and gets some brass knuckles, and that'll never work. And that's an homage to The Hike. And I looked at the skunk in the bathroom while some guy was saying something stupid, and I looked at it and said, moron. It goes back to Forest Ranger Billy. And there's some things about Camp Smokey that you guys don't know about. There's a mention of Camp Smokey on the newscast late in the movie, and there's also a teddy bear, which will be significant that you see in Camp Smokey. So these are all connected, and they're all Appalachian fables. Luke and I have talked about Hike 2, because I think Candy did such a freaking great job, and she was powerful and sexy, and just what it would be like to have Candy be the heavy in her own movie. And
and Vinny inadvertently put the subplot or the plot for a sequel at the end of the movie, because Candy and Vinny have kids.
Or at least Candy does. We don't know
at least Candy does.
We don't know if they're Vinny's kids, but the Robin character has children, so maybe in a few years they grow up to find out what happened to their mother. So we've talked about a Hike 2. And we've also talked about another project which may return the Spearfinger to another project. So there will be, that is something we're talking about. So we're excited about it. And I'm sure we'll have Spearfinger references in other movies that we do too. So good question. What did Houston's in here. Had so much fun. Houston, you did a great job. If you don't know, Houston was the main demon in the movie. And
he did so great.
He looked wonderful. And Houston, you don't know this yet. There's only 5 parts in the movie that are color, and 2 of them are you. because you look so good under that red light with the makeup and stuff. It was amazing. So we appreciate your effort to look like a weird ass demon, and you did a great job. What did Michael Stanley say? Mike, you did a great job. If he's still here watching this crap, we were
He's
just
still
putting you
watching.
over.
He says he
Okay.
loves us. Well, probably more you and Luke. I don't know.
Oh, don't shortchange yourself. He, Mike, like, you know, when we first got with you, a lot of the stuff you did was wooden. You know, you've come so far, and I think your character range with this real life. You know, Tracy's character, Nancy, is based on a real life Nancy. Travis's character, Jack, is based on a real guy. You're based on a real guy. And the character art, you took this person. I don't know. I don't know.
Mike.
I don't know if anybody else I know could have done that, Mike. And the fight scene between me and you was awesome. I think it was better than mine and Luke's. It was a great fight scene, and I love the fact this is the thing that he came up with his own. You got a guy. Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen the movie, leave the podcast and come back in 5 minutes. But you have a guy who did something very evil. One of the most evil things a man can do. And when he's fighting at the end of the world with his arch rival, and something crazy happens, he still doesn't swear. He says the word Jiminy Cricket. And I love the fact that does take a shot at these really right wing or small town or whatever you want to call them, religious people who you can be a glutton, you can sexually molest children, you can be an adulterer, you can lie, you can gamble, but don't swear. You know, and it's like, I think that I don't know if he did that consciously, but that was his choice. But I think it goes back to the entire narrative of the movie, of the hypocrisy that exists with some religious people. And again, that's probably being way too serious about a movie that's this silly. But it was a great choice there, and just a great. And we were talking. I don't know if you saw your line at the top of the steps, which I don't want to ruin for people. That's going to be a T-shirt. So, I mean, that is a famous Michael Myers Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's a touchdown. Oh, what are they doing? Oh,
so what's happening with the game now?
Well, they just scored a touchdown, but for some reason they called it not a touchdown. But I mean, it's obviously a touchdown.
Is it in college overtime? Do they play the entire period?
No, they're doing like the 25-yard weird.
Oh, that's right. It's been a long time since I watched football.
Because what you want to do is you want to play an hour worth of a game, and then to solve the game, you want to play some weird form of the game.
Yep.
That's like if you play checkers and it gets down to a tie, or you play chess and it gets down to a tie, to see who wins, you play checkers.
Well, it's like in hockey at the end, and they do the penalty thing, the shootouts.
Yeah.
They're exciting. It's the most exciting part of hockey, but it's not the hockey. It's like
it's not.
It's like it's exactly what you said. You do an arm wrestling competition, and then now you gotta do
thumb wrestle.
Yeah, something like that. Well, we got a lot of people.
Hey, Candy,
in here.
happy birthday! We love you.
Oh, happy birthday, Candy.
Danny says he forgot to get Tracy's autograph, which you need, because I talked to Danny on the phone today. Danny said you freaking killed it, by the way.
That autograph's going to be worth quite a bit of money in about 10 years. So
well,
hang on to it.
Only to your future husband, Sam Huggins.
He's not. It's not like that, man. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's much worse.
It's not.
I'm reading this. Oh, hey, Kat. How you doing? Kat's from Canada. She can't watch any of our stuff. Hey, we're going to quickly remedy to that, too, because with Amazon, the way that we film this stuff, and it's our fault, since we do mixed audio, and that means that they can't do subtitles or dub over. And like basically for Canada's problem, they can't have French actors doing our insane dialogue, which I would love to fucking hear, by the way. We're going to start having a site for
Hey,
people. in
who's
other
ready for some bestiality there?
right? Yeah, that's like who's ready
Don't
for
you know?
bestiality? Don't you know? Hey, get some back bacon over here. I'm Winnipeg bad. So anyway, we don't let's see. We're going to have some sort of way for people from outside of the Caribbean, United States, and Great Britain to watch our movies. That's our next thing. I still can't believe it's not in Canada. It's crazy. Yeah, you definitely want that shirt. Oh, there's Candy. Happy birthday to Candy. Candy, your part, you were only in this a little bit. Candy was amazing.
Oh, wait a minute. There is going to be a way for people to watch The Hike in Canada because it's going to be on an episode of Hack's Horror Show, which airs on Roku.
The Hike?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we don't get paid for that, but yes.
We don't get. Are we getting paid for Amazon?
Yes, that's what I was going to tell you. I got to talk to you. Yeah, I got to talk to you after that. That's the other thing, though. I can't remember who I was with. We are not getting rich. Like
Thanks,
when Amazon Prime came off, and we told everybody that we're on Amazon Prime, which is an accomplishment we're very happy with. Everybody then thought we were going to get rich. And I had friends of mine going, hey, you deserve it. I hope you can take care of your family and buy that house. I'm like, hey, they pay a penny per hour view. And we got to split that with a distributor. And then I got to split it with Luke, and I got to start paying other people. I said, that penny, a lot of people have to watch this before this becomes anything. So we're not rich yet. So and that's what we were saying. All the donations stopped immediately that day because they thought we were paid. We're not paid yet. We're still in the red on this stuff. We still appreciate the love. I can't. God, we got a lot of people in here. Oh, it's Candy's birthday. Happy birthday, Candy. I love you. And I wish you were here with us. And I wish you were there at the premiere. And I wish you had a part in the movie.
Kat, get in touch with Amber and we'll come on your show.
Gross.
I'll put my email in here, Kat.
Winnipeg bad. Cheryl is shaking her head at you, Funk. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Happy birthday. Everybody's just being nice as shit. I can't handle all that. What's going on in the game, Luke?
Tennessee's going to lose. All Purdue has to do is kick a field goal and they win.
Get out of here.
Even though they scored a touchdown, they said the whistle blew before he got the ball across the line.
Tennessee lost to Alabama last night in basketball. It's been a crappy day.
Yay, sportsing ball.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but it was obviously a touchdown, but they said they blew the whistle. And even though forward progress wasn't stopped because he scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well.
And now
on us.
They're going to kick a 38-yard field goal and win.
Kat is commenting on Facebook, and Amber, you have commented on YouTube. So
it commented on Facebook as well. It's sent to both.
Okay. I
And
was just wanting
Tennessee.
to make sure that the message got relayed.
And Tennessee lost.
Yes.
I told you. You got to quit watching that sports stuff. I can't. I'm a huge Jets fan, and I have gone seasons without watching a game.
Though I would say that Purdue should probably go ahead and throw the refs on their shoulders after that touchdown. Because that is maybe you've seen some really bad touchdowns that you're like, why isn't that a touchdown? There's no reason that was not a touchdown.
I just don't understand. Well, we'll talk about it later. But Kat says I don't see it. I don't know what Kat's talking about.
She's talking about the comment. Kat, if you go to the YouTube, I know it's on there.
Yeah, I see it right here. It says on the.
So you're calling Kat a liar?
But I'll text her or I'll message you directly.
We'll get it worked out.
Steve Bergeron wants to know about DVDs of The Hike. Yes. All right, we're doing a podcast here. So Steve Bergeron has asked about DVDs on the movie The Hike. Yes, here probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start having DVDs of The Hike and WJHC.
No, not just DVDs, VHS.
Oh my gosh.
Eventually, yes, for the horror people. And we can sell those online, and we're going to have more merchandise to sell. We're going to have hike t-shirts. And the cool thing about the DVDs, there is a lot of deleted scenes from the hike. And you'll get to see a lot of stuff. There's going to be, just off the top of my head, the argument. There was a whole storyline with me and Robin, which is Candy Thompson, our character in the hike, not getting along and almost breaking up. So you're going to see a lot of arguments between me and Candy. There's there's like an 8-minute sex scene with me and Candy that we've deleted.
It was hardcore, man. I mean, we're talking almost, yeah.
There was a lot of punching and choking, and I kept telling her to stop, but she wouldn't. I'm just kidding about that. But there's there's no real penetration. It was all stunt. We used stunt penetration. We use stunt genitalia.
It's really just my fingers
stunted.
Right.
But
there's going to be a lot of deleted scenes. There's a scene where Luke and Travis they think they step in Scott's poop. That's one of them. But there's a whole bunch. It's a
funny scene.
Me and Candy find a moonshine still that's been destroyed, and there's a lot of stuff in that. And then we're going to release this WJHC thing, and then we'll have deleted scenes, quite a few of those as well.
I think for WJHC, there's going to be a gag reel. I didn't think we had enough behind on the hike because we're so tired from actually hiking that we didn't really have that many big laughs except for the one that's already at the end of the movie. But I think WJHC, there's probably a ton of stuff that could be on a gag reel that we caught on video.
Well, and again, I don't know if I'm patting us on the back or since we've had an extended wrestling history, me and you are very one-take Jones.
Yes.
And we have to learn to take multiple takes because things happen. Like somebody bumps the goddamn camera.
And when you say noise. Somebody, you mean you.
Most of the time. Other people have done it. Or somebody has the damn shields down.
The shields.
That's blocking out the view field. So, I mean, we make mistakes. You gotta shore it up. So, but there's not a lot of take two. Well, there's not a lot of take 3 or 4. We do 2 in this movie, and we're like, all right, that's good enough. This was a tough movie to make. There was a lot of people. Amber and Tracy somebody was asking me today, who is Big and Funky Productions? And I'm like, it's this growing thing. I said, it's me and Luke at the top, but Travis, Candy, and then you're like Amber and Tracy have come on recently and they're a big part. But then there's Kirby and Hack and Mike and then, Mitch even. And, it's
an ever evolving lineup of basically who can be there.
Right.
Who wants to be there,
right.
And then some people get fired and,
but some people get bored or they get sick of our shit and leave. And so, but it's an ever growing thing. But I mean, like, Amber and Tracy learned a lot shooting that movie and helping us out and doing things that were really things children could do. And then they did things that were very difficult to do. It took a lot of talent. And so it's an ever evolving thing. So, but
and then there's also people that's what kills us is distance, because if if Brandon Bishop and Cantelli and what's his name with Cantelli there, Brandon Reese, if they live closer, they live in the house with us basically. They're
right. And then there's, Candy's now far away and Kirby's far away. And Justin her husband is far away. So there's still, thanks to the internet, they can kind of bridge the gap. But, this was a tough film for us. We grew a lot in this and I think we were better filmmakers, but shooting 100 different actors, it was something else. And I know, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but Luke's circuits were fried at times. And so that was a learning experience for him and us as well. And, but the good thing is it's a good product. I was worried that all this weird newness was going to sink it, but it got us used to, what it got us used to is at some point when there's real money with these movies, Luke and ladies, we're going to have a crew with a lot of people. So even if we're shooting 2 people, there's going to be 15 people in the room at some point.
Yeah.
With grips and gaffers and other assholes that you got to pay. So it's something we got to get used to.
Yeah, I would love to have it. To me, with me and my brain with budgets and assets and and always wanting to martyr myself and do things myself. It's like the thing I hate the most is asking somebody to hold the boom stand.
I kept asking, what can I do?
I know,
How can I help? And you're all like, no, I got it. I'm standing here looking pretty, and that's it.
But basically, when you're telling somebody to hold a boom stand, you're like, hey, come over here and do calisthenics. You know, it's not like just because, you know, you got to hold it here. It's off camera. Get over here. Get over here.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right. 2, 3, second set. It's just one of those things where I hate to ask people to do stuff that I'm like,
yeah, but you got to do it.
That's what we're there for.
Yeah, but you got to do it. I mean, there's a couple scenes in the movie where the audio is real. It could have used the boom, and the audio suffers, and it's just something you just learn from here on out. I mean, it's part of editing for a month sucks. It's totally time consuming and life consuming, but you do it because it results in a product that everybody can be proud of. I was very nervous with this movie. I was very nervous we were going to let them down, Luke. All these people that drove, and some people did stuff for free, and some people did stuff for gas money, and all the time that went into it. And I was really afraid it was going to stink. But if you haven't seen it yet and you're part of it, I think you're going to be proud. And Dustin, I'm surprised you weren't there.
He says he'll be out for the January 22nd showing.
Dustin
at the Hall Cinema 7 at 7 p.m.
Yeah, Dustin did a good job. I was very proud of Dustin. That scene was funnier than I thought.
Oh, Tracy, by the way, your lighting is fantastic.
Yeah, you look great. Amber looks like she's messaging her astronaut boyfriend for the 60th night in a row as he's orbiting the Earth. She's lost. She's just like, it's just me now. She's lost the.
Listen,
no,
I made myself up for Tuesday night. It's not carrying over this far.
Me too. I'm naked under this robe. But anyway,
I'm wearing the sweater that I made.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Maybe we should sell your crochet stuff on the website.
I've actually got a pattern. I just need to get some pictures taken of the finished product, and then we can sell the pattern.
The crochet dick is in the movie, and the crochet tit hat is right there.
That's an axe.
I know it's hanging. The tit hat is on the axe.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of, and Amber's done a great job with PR. On the website is a link to the interview that she and I did with the Musty Fly podcast, which that guy was very nice. Really cool black dude.
He's coming on our show in
Steve.
February, by the way.
Where was he at? What city is he in? Chicago, or was he at?
No, he's actually in like
Texas or something.
Or some. He's on the other side of the Turkey or something like that.
The black guy?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They have black people outside of America? Oh my God.
No, but he spoke with an American accent. I didn't know. Where's he from? I mean, he's
from New Orleans, but he lives in Istanbul, Turkey.
Really? Luke,
Istanbul used to be Constantinople.
Yes.
But now it's Istanbul and not Constantinople.
Yeah, now shut up.
No. But what I'm saying, Lucas, he looks like one of mine and yours friends. If you catch my drift, I mean, this guy was one of us. He was a cool guy. He wasn't a foreigner or anything. So I didn't know he was in another country.
Are you saying foreigners can't be cool? God, you're just saying holes, man.
I'm just saying that he looks like one of our people, man. So
to recap this episode, Vinny doesn't know there's black people outside of America, and he thinks that foreigners aren't cool.
It wasn't a black thing. It was the guy's accent. He was an American. He was an American. I didn't know he was outside of. I thought he was in Chicago because he's friends with Wade Simmons.
Yep.
And Simmons is in Chicago, right?
Yeah,
it's a great song.
And Wade Simmons was a hell of a guest. So anyway, so we're on that, and then La Follette Press did a very lengthy article about the movie, and it came out today.
Did they say that we filmed at WLF? Because
Yes.
that could get Pat in some trouble.
No, it won't. He got permission.
You hope not.
He got permission. The thing that was the problem was that he wanted to keep it quiet was because it was during Corona, and they didn't want to open the Pandora's box that
The radio preachers.
Yeah, that the radio preachers wanted to come in and do radio, and they were like, "Screw those guys. Let's just let them keep sliding tapes under the doors and tell them we can't let anybody in this place." But the owners and everybody and the management all knew. They just didn't want the populace to know. Now, who gives a shit?
Now, I will tell you that we made a
April.
joke. We made a joke in the movie about cassette tapes in 1999, and this place was still using cassette tapes in 2021.
Dude, you won't know this, but this place was such a perfect fit. It was actually, no offense to Pat or WLAF, which was awesome. It was godsend. We couldn't have shot this movie without this television station. So we're not pooping on this, but it was WKX. Oh, I can't say the name of the real place. The place that I actually was a disc jockey. Shit, that I can't say. That could get us in some trouble. The place that this is based on looks, and it was outdated and I worked there in 95. It was outdated in 95. And I swear, I'm not lying. You guys are going to think I'm exaggerating for comedic effect. It was more advanced than WLAF now. Back in this old, but it looked the same board, was exactly the same board. But there were things at WLAF that were more retro than what we had. Like,
well, I'll tell you what, the microphone that WLAF uses that made it into the movie is one of the premier. I mean, I was in love with that microphone. That's one of the premier microphones, and those things are freaking expensive.
Now that mic was better than the place. I almost said it again. The place that I worked at, for real. They did have a better mic, and they had newer computers, but everything else was janky, real janky. But they're a television station, so I'm not even sure why they have cassettes. That's kind of the weird thing.
Well, they do television and radio there.
Do they? I didn't know that.
I think they said that.
Did you guys see the WLAF stickers that we forgot to cover?
Yeah,
Yes,
we missed covering up. I was like, oh shit. But it's not that kind of movie.
I had dinner with Kirby, or lunch with Kirby the next day, and she said she thought it was like it could be one of those stations that has like a radio station, a television station, like a jazz station and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what it is. So there's it's a multiplex. So I was like, yeah, we could always explain that away. We just didn't do our job that day for some reason. That we did every other.
Hired me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that falls on you and Tracy. No, I'm just kidding. It's all of our faults.
Not that kind of movie, kid. If they're paying attention to your hair, we got bigger problems.
Amen. Well, guys, great job. And yes, we'll have DVDs for sale and all that stuff. And it should be, and I can't wait for Camp Smokey. I mean, that's the thing. I'm like, once we polish this one up, get it out there and promote the hell out of it. Amber's going to promote it. And so Luke and I are going to concentrate on casting and getting on the same page. I'm excited about this next one because this was my story.
Locations.
So
we
this
need a
next
camp.
movie, this next movie is Luke's own conjuring out of his own head, and I can't wait to tell one of his stories. And Luke tells better stories than I do. That's what I'm excited about. So I can't wait to add. And what's going to be so fun, man? Can you? I can't wait for the day that we have 6 of these movies, and we're just like, look how all awesome these things are, and how they kind of connect, and the stories we've had of all these movies. I can't wait to kind of keep building on that. Do you have anything else to add about Camp Smokey? Looking forward to it.
We need a camp.
We'll get a camp. I think the thing is, if people see this movie, they'll believe. If they'll see this movie in the hike, they'll be like, okay, these guys aren't kidding around. This isn't just a hobby thing. These are people who are trying to actually make real.
I can't
real
I can't fit any more locations for that movie. I can't build any more in my backyard, so we actually need a camp.
We'll get one. I've got one in
Thank you,
mind.
Candy.
What
That
Candy
was
say?
sweet, Candy.
Oh, Candy just wants more attention because it's her birthday. So let's.
Yeah.
Well, she should get all the attention. She is the queen.
Well, you guys are the duchesses. What's
Okay, whatever.
what's under a queen?
I don't know.
The chambermaid. You're the
Chamber-
chambermaid.
No, it would be a duchess. That's the next hierarchy of
Okay.
nobility.
You're the king's concubine girlfriends.
That's
Yes,
true.
you're
So you're just kind of the hose. I don't know what is under a queen.
A duchess.
Princess, a
the
duchess.
Jack.
Duchess.
That's a guy. A Jane, a duchess. You're the duchesses. She's the queen. But we're just bullshit. I don't even.
We're the
know.
Dutch eye.
The Dutch eye.
Yeah, we're your beards.
That's right. Well, happy birthday, Candy. I hope you enjoyed the movie and your part in the movie. And that's one of my favorite vignettes of the movie is that scene, which was Tracy's parents, who did a great job. Was that fun for you to see?
Huh?
Was that fun for you to see your mom and dad?
Oh, I was dying laughing. Oh my gosh.
What do you think they'll think of it?
They'll be amused, I'm sure. My mom will be like, "That's not my voice. I sounded much more country than that."
Oh, Candy's voice was Luke. Did you know that was Candy's voice?
Yeah.
Okay, that was crazy. I couldn't believe you could tell Candy grew up in that element because that was definitely something else. All right, guys, love you. Thank you for the support. Everybody that came out. Jesse Lunsford, thanks for the donation. John, thanks for all the work on that day. Guyver, thanks for all the work on making the DVD. John kicked ass on that whole day. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Thanks for everybody that was in the movie. Thanks for all the musicians. Everybody that helped secure a location. I think everybody who donated time, who donated lines, talent.
And everybody that donated to the GoFundMe.
The GoFundMe. Kirby even said, I put the producers, the people that paid the $50 as producers. I need to put everybody that donated in the thank yous, which I haven't done. So that's something I got to do. Remind me to do that. But any fan of ours, I hate using that word because I feel like this is a family. Anybody that's part of our family that's all over the United States and Canada and the world and who supports us, thank you for believing in what Luke and I have started and what has become this beautiful menagerie of crazy bastards and beautiful people that are our friends, and hopefully you'll enjoy
Menagerie. We're having a threesome.
Menagerie is a bird threesome, I think.
Oh,
with a lot of butter.
It's like
Yeah.
livestock.
Tracy, if I had
Should
to
be
give
right up Arlo's alley.
Tracy, if I had to give an award for best actress or best actor of the movie, it would be you. So, what would you like to say? Closing the podcast out tonight as the award of Funkmaster's favorite actor in WJHC.
Thank you, and make sure you check out The Hike on Amazon Prime and check out WJHCAM on Prime once it drops. And come to one of our screenings if you are at all capable of doing so, because that will be amazing. We'd love to see you.
And that's going to be Hacks.
We've got Hacks Horror something.
Festival
It's January
and
22nd at 7 p.m. at the Hall Cinema 7. Be there, be square. $10 at the door.
Beautiful. And we're changing the podcast time to 7.
Yes.
And in a couple weeks, we will have the lady from Manos Hands of Fate, the only surviving cast member. She was the little tiny bride. And you're talking about weird that we had a kid pulling a knife on another kid in this movie. There was a child bride in that movie, and she will be on the show in mid-January. That's awesome. Good get, Amber. I'm proud of you. I've been trying, like Luke said, I've been trying to get that interview for years. All right. Take care,
That's why
guys.
you keep me around.
Yes, ma'am.
See y'all.
Bye. Go Vols.